Hello everyone, I'm Ron Grant coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the Virgin Islands. You're watching 284 Media. Thank you so much for your time. The Lions Club of Tortola is once again embarking on a number of grand ventures for the holiday season. Of course, this includes their annual Christmas tree lighting and a food and toy drive. Joining me today to discuss these activities is Lion President Amaral Newton. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
At Partners for Kids, your child's health and happiness are at the heart of everything we do. We've been the trusted medical home for children and adolescents up to 18 years old. And now, we are excited to welcome a new member to our family of healthcare professionals. Introducing Dr. Aisha Maxwell, our new family practitioner. Dr. Maxwell brings a wealth of experience and deep passion for pediatric and adult care, ready to join our team in providing first-rate health services to your family. At Partners for Kids, we believe in a collaborative approach to healthcare. With partners in occupational therapy and clinical psychology, Partners for Kids, where caring is just the beginning. Visit us at Road Reef Plaza, Tortola, open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call us at 284-444-5437 or reach out at info@partnersforkids.com to learn more.
At Higher BVI, we're not just about business. We're about empowering lives, and that is because we aspire to inspire. By choosing us, you're supporting a company that believes in equal opportunities, diversity, and community growth. Our mission goes beyond profit. It's about providing HR solutions, fostering talent, and leaving a positive impact. Join us in building a better future, a better BVI. Choose Higher BVI, where your support isn't just a transaction, it's a transformation. Together, we're changing lives in these beautiful Virgin Islands.
Welcome back everyone, and thank you so much for sticking with us. As promised, we're discussing all things Lions Club of Tortola, a number of activities that have become a trademark in our community. That includes their annual Christmas tree lighting as well as a food and toy drive. Joining me, as mentioned, is Lion President Amaral Newton. President Newton, welcome to our platform and thank you so much for your time.
Good morning, Ron. Thank you for having us. Thank you for engaging the Lions Club of Tortola as you usually do, and I'm here to announce that we're entering our season of giving. As you would have mentioned, our Christmas tree lighting, food drive, and toy drive giveaway. So those are some of the items that persons can look forward to as traditionally done by the club.
Beautiful. Now talk to me about what the Lions Club essentially has been up to recently.
Well, our usual projects, of course, we have our signature projects, which we would have completed just this month. The diabetes awareness, we would have had some campaigns with them. Last week we had a glow walk, which would have been a nighttime walk. We were painted with fluorescent paints, and it was quite interesting. It was a small turnout, but it's a district initiative, so it would have happened throughout all the English-speaking Caribbean islands within last weekend to this weekend, so we'd see that throughout. And then, of course, as I mentioned, we're just getting into our season of giving, so persons can look out.
Now, for persons who may not be aware of the Lions Club of Tortola and their mantra of service, tell us about the organization.
Right. So we are a worldwide international organization that is based on volunteerism of persons giving their time, their talent to be able to meet the needs wherever those needs lie. We operate on the motto of we serve. So whatever the service is, we try our best to find and be able to meet that need. Of course, it's volunteer, and of course, we get funding from persons that are willing to donate and so forth. So we're always looking and willing to make partnerships.
Understood. Now tell us about the grand venture. Of course, it's an annual event, a staple in our community that persons look forward to, the annual Christmas tree lighting. Give us the details.
Right. So as you mentioned, it's a staple. As we were discussing, I was just reflecting on an article I was doing a few weeks ago, reflecting the same information. And I think it's probably 45 years plus that the tree has been lit. At some point during the presidency or during the tenure of my dad's tenure as a member of the club, he was president probably 3 times. So the tree would have been lit under his tenure for 3 times. So I'm quite proud to be able to, take on the mantle and be able, this is my first lighting, and look forward to much more. I also learned that the tree originally would have been century tree or succulent, or locally known as a cactus, which would be sought from up in the hills, brought into town and decorated nicely. That happened in the older years. And as things progressed, then, we came into having the actual modern Christmas tree and decorating it with lights and so forth. So just a little bit of, history.
Understood, and wonderful. Tell us about the date and the logistics. What can persons expect?
Right. So it's happening on Saturday the 30th at the Salva Georges Plaza. That has been a location for many years, as I mentioned. And we'll have the usual performers, Dwight Hutchison, the Bass Spot, many musical renditions. We have some dancers, Pelican Gate dancers. So we're trying to provide a variety of family entertainment, traditional family entertainment, so persons can come out and enjoy. We're encouraging persons to come out, bring the kids, enjoy the evening, socialize. We will also have on display, as I mentioned, I hadn't mentioned yet, we'll also have on display our car, which will be raffling. So that would be a good opportunity for persons to get a chance to see the car. And we will be doing a draw on that very night. I'll speak about the draw a little bit later.
Awesome. And of course, the food and toy drive. Tell us about the logistics of that and how persons can contribute.
Right. So the food and toy drive, again, forms part of our season of giving. The food drive as done probably almost 40 odd years as well, too. So that's where we go out and collect foods. We're usually stationed at the supermarkets. We do have a lot of corporate partners that would donate, packages of items. And once those items are collected, they're then sorted and then bagged into what we call the food baskets. So it's a staple basket. You'd find the flour, the general basic items that persons would need to be able to prepare some items for them. We're looking, last year we ran through about 155 baskets, and those baskets covered Virgin Gorda, Anegada, Jost Van Dyke, and Tortola. So we're hoping that we're able to meet that or exceed as needed. We'd invite persons to actually, if you see us out in the community collecting, donate some cans if you can, or donate some funding. Once we have some persons with special dietary needs, that's where the funding goes to be able to purchase those specific items for those persons. So we encourage you to walk up to us anywhere we are, even if we're not collecting at the time, and give. Thank you.
Understood. And also amazing initiative that has been also continuing for a number of years, the toy drive. How does that work?
Right. So the toy drive, a similar collection effort. We will be this year going through a targeted list of groups through Wynn BVI, Esden Henley, Enos Adams, special needs. That's the kindergarten section. We figured this year, let's try and focus on the targeted group. So we're collecting toys. Again, corporate persons can give, anyone can give, donate a toy. It's school-age kids, so probably from 5 right up to probably 12 or 13. We don't really get much into the teenage years because that sometimes is a little bit challenging. So at least, we can spread some joy to some kids around.
Beautiful. Now let's get back to the raffle, which is of course a fundraiser for the Lions Club. Right. Tell us about the logistics of that.
Right. So as I mentioned, this would have been this raffle is probably our first in many, many years. We're coming back into the car raffle scene. You would have known we would have done smaller scale raffles, and this is our big leap. So we are raffling a Hyundai i10. Small car. We'd made a really good arrangement, I think, with the vendor, so we're able to have that car on location on Saturday for persons to have a look at. The funds, most importantly, from that raffle would go to support our food symposium, which is a new idea that we're looking at, a new project, I should say, and also a Young Men's Summit. I can speak a little bit more about that.
Well, I'd love to hear about that.
The raffle, so let me just wrap up on the raffle.
Sure.
So the raffle, we're having a draw on that same lighting of the Christmas tree night. So you can come by, buy your tickets, and you're entered in. At that time, we'd be raffling some cash prizes, item from iSmart on Saturday. Then we have another draw going into February, which is like a Valentine's sweetheart draw. That includes a package to Jost Van Dyke for a couple for a day. It includes ferry transport, a massage at Ocean Spa, and then lunch and return. So that's another raffle. And then We have a few prizes, such as from Digicel and so forth, like full service for a year. That will pull in March, and then our finale will happen in April 21st. That's when we'll actually pull the winner of the car. So it's a lead up of a few months going into it.
Wonderful, exceptional. So I know a lot of persons will be there, looking forward to, of course, have their opportunity to win outside of the car a number of amazing prizes.
Right.
Beautiful.
Right.
You mentioned a number of upcoming initiatives moving into 2025. One being a Young Men's Summit. If you can, tell us about that.
Yes. So the Young Men's Summit, we're looking at having it in February of 2025. And the general idea, which I've had this idea a few years now, and it became more prevalent during last year, it's to actually engage young men, probably between the ages of 14 to probably about 18 or so. And I have a really very good project lead, Lion Troy, which I know is a very popular guy, and he's looked up to by many young men. So the idea we came up with is to create sort of a man cave environment. And where we'd be able to speak to the young men on items such as making good decisions, giving them tools to make the decisions, looking at their health, looking at their well-being, and all those fall into decision making, looking at grooming, looking at, I remember there was an interview some time ago, you guys said chivalry was dead. So we're trying to get some of that back into the young men. Yes. So it's an overall approach we're looking at, and we welcome your attendance as well to be able to guide us with that. So some of the funds would go towards that.
Wonderful.
And then another portion of the funds would go towards a food symposium, which we're looking at in January. That would be, I think, one of the first as well for us. So the general idea is that we would look at food from a perspective of the benefits we can gain in terms of delaying the onset of some of the common diseases that we're engaged. So we look at a panel discussion, which would be led by doctors. And those doctors would be able to engage a community to say, okay, rather than having just potatoes, maybe have sweet potatoes, because we know sweet potatoes usually have much more benefit. So that's just, a little preview. And then we will have some chefs, Chef Mike and a few others have agreed to be able to do some demonstrations on quick menus that can be put together, quick recipes that can be put together, so persons are still benefiting from the healthy food and not being deterred to figure out it's this much planning to get to being healthy. So that's the approach there. The third item that I'm hoping the car raffle would support is our Vision 24 Reloaded. I'm calling it Reloaded because when we ran through the project in April, it was a really huge success, and we thank the community for all the support. We thank everyone for the help we got. We really have gotten really good feedback from that. But we identified there are some schools that were underserved. Those schools would have been Elmo Stout, Joyce Samuels, and I believe Enos Adams. Okay. So we want to target those 3 schools and prepare it in such a format that we're actually going into the school this time to be able to reach the kids that didn't come out to us.
Understood.
Though we did provide transportation and many opportunities, there were a little bit of a logistics. So I'm pleading to the parents, if you get a request from us to give a consent, please consent so that we can be able to service a child. I recall the consent forms was one of the issues that we encountered why we couldn't really serve them as we needed to. So those are the main things that we'd be looking at with the funding.
Wonderful. Well, I want to congratulate you, Lion President, on your remarkable year thus far. Quite a hefty list of initiatives, but yes. You and your club continue to do your part in really contributing to the fabric of the territory. So I want to thank you so much. Most importantly, we encourage persons to support the upcoming Christmas tree lighting, the annual Christmas tree lighting at the Sir Oliver George's Plaza this Saturday, as well as the food and toy drive when you see the Lion Club members throughout the community, as well as the supermarkets do, if you can, give your part to contribute to this initiative. Lion President, before we go, I want you to give you an opportunity to speak to the public and encourage them to come out to these events as well as to participate in the food and toy drive. And for persons who might be interested in getting in contact with the Lions Club, whether to attend a meeting, please provide some information on that.
Thanks, Ron. Well, thanks for having me here. I really appreciate the opportunity and the platform. For persons interested in supporting the food drive, as I mentioned, we'll be out at One Mart on December 1st, at Right Way on December 14th, at Bobby's on December 1st. So it's your usual supermarkets. Come out and support. Similarly with the toy drive, we'll be reaching out to persons for their support, so we'd welcome that. I know there are a lot of smiles on those kids' faces once we show up with a huge bag of toys. It is remarkable and heartwarming. For any persons willing to get involved with the work we do, you can reach out whether to myself, 541-3393. You can follow us on Facebook, or we have our Instagram page as well. Or any member that you see wearing this yellow vest can direct you to where we are, where we huddle, and just advise on what we're doing. I would also like to just thank the public for their support, thank them for their cooperation, and also just show my gratitude for what we have been able to accomplish so far.
Wonderful. Once again, thank you so much for your time, and we enjoy and look forward to all the remarkable things that the Lions Club of Tortola has in store for the community. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Ron.
You're most welcome. Viewers, that is all the time we have. Have a beautiful rest of the day. Goodbye.